Welcome back to the channel, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving into one of the most iconic and beloved coins in American history, the legendary Lincoln Wheat Penny. If you've ever checked your pocket change and wondered whether you might be holding a small piece of history, this is the coin you need to know about. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, this historic cent was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Designed by the talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, the Wheat Penny carries a powerful portrait of Lincoln on the front, symbolizing strength, unity, and freedom. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the simple yet beautiful wheat stalks framing the words, 1 cent. Those twin wheat ears represent prosperity and growth, a reflection of America's agricultural roots and rising power during the early 20th century. When people hear about the legendary 1943 Liberty Wheat Penny, their imagination instantly explodes with dreams of hidden treasure. The coin you are talking about is officially known as the Lincoln Wheat Penny, a small 1-cent piece that carries enormous historical power. In 1943, during the height of World War II, the United States changed the metal composition of the penny to support the war effort. Copper was needed for ammunition and military equipment, so most 1943 pennies were struck in zinc-coated steel instead of the usual bronze. That single decision created one of the most fascinating stories in American coin history. Now here is where the mystery begins. While nearly all 1943 pennies were made of steel, a very tiny number were accidentally struck on leftover bronze planchets from 1942. These rare bronze versions are the true legends. They are often mistakenly called silver, because the common 1943 steel cents look silver in color, but the ultra-valuable coins are actually copper bronze. If you ever find a 1943 penny that does not stick to a magnet, your heart should race, because it might be one of the rarest minting errors ever produced. The 1943 penny with no mint mark was struck at the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia, which used no mint mark that year. While millions upon millions of steel cents came from Philadelphia, only a handful of bronze era coins are believed to exist from that location. That extreme rarity is the reason collectors are willing to pay life-changing money when a genuine example appears at auction. It is not hype, it is pure supply and demand combined with history. In today's market, an authentic 1943 bronze Lincoln Wheat Penny in high grade can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in some cases over $1 million depending on condition and authentication. That is why stories circulate about someone becoming rich overnight from a tiny coin found in an old jar. However, it is important to understand that the common 1943 steel penny is usually worth only a small premium over face value unless it is in exceptional condition. The $1 million dream applies only to the extremely rare bronze era pieces. The design itself adds to the emotional power of the coin. The front features President Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of strength and unity during America's most difficult times. The reverse displays two wheat stalks framing the words, 1 cent, representing prosperity and growth. Holding a 1943 penny feels like holding a direct connection to World War II, sacrifice, and resilience. That emotional weight fuels collector demand even more. Because the 1943 bronze penny is so valuable, counterfeits are everywhere. Some people copperplate steel cents to fake the look. Others alter the date on a 1948 penny to resemble 1943. That is why authentication by a professional grading service is absolutely essential. Without certification, even a genuine coin will not command top dollar. Serious collectors trust third-party grading companies to confirm metal composition, weight, and originality. If you truly believe you have discovered a rare 1943 bronze penny from Philadelphia, never clean it and never try to polish it. Cleaning can destroy microscopic surface details and reduce its value dramatically. Store it safely and have it evaluated by a reputable coin expert. A small decision made in excitement could cost thousands of dollars in lost value. Patience is the key to protecting potential treasure. The dream of becoming a billionaire overnight from a single penny is thrilling, but it is important to stay realistic. Even the rarest 1943 bronze cents have sold in the range of hundreds of thousands to a little over $1 million, not billions. Still, turning 1 cent into life-changing money is powerful enough. That is why this coin continues to capture attention across generations of collectors and treasure hunters. What makes the 1943 Liberty Wheat Penny so captivating is not just its price tag, but its story. It represents a wartime metal shortage, a minting mistake, and decades of mystery. Every time one surfaces, headlines follow, and the legend grows stronger. It proves that even the smallest everyday object can carry enormous hidden potential. So if you ever come across a 1943 penny with a copper color instead of steel gray, test it carefully with a magnet and seek professional verification immediately. Do not rush to sell it cheaply. While most 1943 pennies are common steel cents, the rare bronze version truly has the power to transform a collector's fortune. Knowledge, patience, and authentication are the real keys to unlocking the incredible value hidden inside that tiny piece of American history. When people hear the words "rare Liberty Wheat Penny," their imagination instantly runs toward hidden treasure, secret fortunes, and life-changing discoveries. The 1946 Wheat Penny with no mint mark, often called the 1946 P because it was struck in Philadelphia, is one of those coins that sparks curiosity and excitement among collectors. But before dreams of overnight billions take over, it's important to understand the real story behind this historic coin and what truly makes it valuable. The 1946 Wheat Penny was minted just after the end of World War II, during a powerful moment of rebuilding and hope in the United States. It features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that had been in use since 1909. On the reverse, two elegant wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent, giving the coin its famous nickname, the Wheat Penny. This design belongs to the beloved Lincoln Wheat Penny series, one of the most collected coin series in American history. Many people believe the 1946 Wheat Penny is made of silver, but that is not correct. Unlike wartime nickels that contained silver, the 1946 penny was struck primarily in copper. That means its base metal value is modest. However, what can transform an ordinary 1946 penny into a highly valuable collectible is its condition, rarity in high grade, and the possibility of rare minting errors. Philadelphia struck millions of 1946 pennies, and most of them remain common today. In circulated condition, coins that have been used in everyday transactions, the value is usually only slightly above face value. But here's where excitement builds. If you happen to find a 1946 wheat penny in exceptionally high, uncirculated condition, especially with strong red color and sharp details, collectors may pay a premium. The difference between a worn coin and a pristine example can mean the difference between a few cents and hundreds of dollars. The real hidden treasure potential lies in error coins. A 1946 penny with a dramatic mint error, such as a double die, off-center strike, or major planchet flaw, can command much higher prices. Error coins are rare because they were never meant to leave the mint in imperfect form. When they do survive, collectors compete fiercely for them. These are the types of coins that create headlines and fuel stories of unexpected windfalls. However, it's important to stay grounded. A standard 1946 wheat penny without errors will not make someone a billionaire overnight. Even the finest examples typically sell in the hundreds or, in extreme cases, low thousands of dollars if they are in extraordinary condition and professionally graded. The coin market rewards rarity and condition, not just age. Age alone does not equal massive value. If you believe you have a special 1946 penny, the smartest step is professional evaluation. Authentication and grading by a reputable third-party grading service can confirm whether your coin is truly exceptional. A certified high-grade example will always attract more serious buyers than a raw, ungraded coin. Proper storage is also essential. Never clean the coin, as cleaning can drastically reduce its value. What truly makes the 1946 wheat penny powerful is not just its monetary worth, but its historical symbolism. It represents the first full year of peace after a global war, a period when nations were rebuilding and families were hopeful for a brighter future. Holding one feels like holding a small copper witness to history, a reminder of resilience and renewal. So while the 1946 wheat penny is not a secret silver coin worth millions in ordinary form, it still carries charm, history, and collectible appeal. If you discover one in stunning condition or with a rare mint error, it could absolutely be worth far more than 1 cent. The key is knowledge, patience, and realistic expectations. Treasure hunting in coin collecting is real, but the true fortune comes from understanding what you hold in your hand and recognizing genuine rarity when it appears. The 1956 Liberty Wheat Penny from the Philadelphia Mint is one of those coins that instantly captures attention, but let's begin with a powerful truth. This is not a silver coin, and it is not normally worth millions. It is a copper cent from the legendary Lincoln Wheat Penny series, featuring the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the classic wheat stalk design on the reverse. While stories often exaggerate its value into the millions, The real treasure of this coin lies in condition, rarity of errors, and collector demand, not overnight billionaire miracles. Still, under the right circumstances, a 1956 penny can be far more valuable than its 1-cent face value. The year 1956 marked one of the final chapters of the Wheat Penny era, a design that ran from 1909 to 1958 before transitioning to the Lincoln Memorial reverse. Coins minted in Philadelphia during 1956 carry no mint mark, which sometimes confuses new collectors. Because millions were produced, most examples found in circulation today are common and worth only a small premium over face value. However, condition is everything. A worn, circulated 1956 penny might be worth only a few cents, but a sharply struck, brilliant red uncirculated piece can command significantly higher prices among collectors. The dramatic claims about unimaginable worth usually come from misunderstanding how coin values work. Value is driven by rarity and demand. If a 1956 wheat penny is found in pristine mint state condition, graded MS65 red or higher, it becomes far more desirable. Collectors pay strong premiums for coins with full original red luster because copper naturally tones and darkens over time. A blazing red example that looks almost as if it just left the mint presses can sell for impressive amounts compared to ordinary brown examples. Now, where things truly become exciting is in the realm of mint errors. Error coins are accidental variations created during the minting process. A 1956 penny with a dramatic off-center strike, double die features, or a major die crack can become highly collectible. These error varieties are much rarer than standard strikes. In such cases, prices can jump from a few dollars to hundreds or even thousands, depending on the severity and eye appeal of the error. This is where the dream of hidden treasure becomes more realistic, though still far from millions in normal circumstances. It is also important to clarify a key misconception. The 1956 wheat penny is made primarily of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, not silver. Only specific wartime pennies in 1943 were struck in steel, and even those were not silver. The myth of a silver 1956 penny likely comes from plated or altered coins. If you ever find a 1956 penny that appears silver in color, it is almost certainly plated after leaving the mint, and such alterations usually reduce rather than increase value. For collectors who dream of life-changing discoveries, the real jackpot scenario would involve an extremely rare transitional error or a unique minting anomaly never widely documented. If a one-of-a-kind 1956 penny surfaced with undeniable authentication from a top grading service, competitive bidding at auction could drive the price dramatically higher. High-profile auctions have shown that collectors are willing to pay astonishing sums for truly rare coins, but those cases are exceptions, not the rule. The emotional power of the 1956 wheat penny comes from history as much as money. Each coin passed through countless hands during the mid-1950s, a time of economic growth and cultural change in America. Holding one today is like holding a small piece of that era. For many collectors, that historical connection is more valuable than pure profit. The wheat design itself symbolizes prosperity and agricultural strength, adding symbolic depth to the coin's appeal. If you believe you have a special 1956 penny, the smartest step is careful evaluation. Avoid cleaning the coin, because cleaning can drastically reduce value. Store it safely, examine it under magnification for unusual features, and consider professional grading if it appears to be in exceptional condition. Authentication protects you from both overestimating and underestimating its worth. Knowledge is far more powerful than hype when it comes to rare coins. The truth is that becoming a billionaire overnight from a common 1956 wheat penny is extremely unlikely. However, finding a high-grade or rare error example could still mean a rewarding financial surprise. Even a coin worth a few $100s is an exciting discovery from pocket change. The key is realistic expectations balanced with careful research and preservation. In the end, the 1956 Liberty wheat penny is a symbol of opportunity, not because every piece is worth millions, but because rare treasures do exist in the world of coin collecting. The magic lies in condition, authenticity, and rarity. While most 1956 pennies are modestly valued, the thrill of searching, learning, and possibly uncovering something extraordinary is what truly makes this coin powerful. Sometimes the greatest fortune is not overnight wealth, but the passion and knowledge gained along the journey. The 1944 Liberty wheat penny from the Philadelphia Mint, often called the 1944 P. Mint issue, even though Philadelphia coins of that year carried no mint mark, is one of the most talked about coins in American history. Officially known as the Lincoln Wheat Penny, this small 1-cent piece carries the powerful image of President Abraham Lincoln on the front and two elegant wheat stalks on the reverse. At first glance it looks ordinary, something you might overlook in a jar of old coins. But hidden within the 1944 production is a legendary rarity that has shocked collectors and created stories of overnight fortune. In 1944, the United States Mint returned to using copper for pennies after the steel cents of 1943. Millions upon millions of 1944 pennies were struck in copper, and most of them today are worth only modest premiums depending on condition. However, a tiny number were accidentally struck on leftover steel planchets from 1943. These rare 1944 steel wheat pennies are the true treasures. They look silver in color rather than the usual reddish-brown copper, and that single difference transforms them from common pocket change into coins worth staggering amounts. When collectors speak about a 1944 silver penny worth millions, they are almost always referring to this accidental 1944 steel cent. Because so few were made, only a handful are known to exist. Demand among serious numismatists is intense. In high grades, authenticated examples have sold for extraordinary six-figure and even seven-figure sums. The idea that a humble penny, originally worth 1 cent, could command such a price captures the imagination and fuels the dream that anyone might discover one in an old collection. The reason for its incredible value is not just rarity but historical drama. The coin represents a wartime transition, a minting mistake, and a surviving relic of industrial urgency. During World War II, copper was critical for ammunition and military equipment, so the mint experimented with steel in 1943. When production shifted back to copper in 1944, a few steel blanks apparently remained in the machinery. Those few accidental strikes became some of the most coveted errors in American coinage history. However, it is important to understand the difference between the rare steel version and the standard 1944 copper penny. The vast majority of 1944 Philadelphia cents are copper and are not worth millions. Their value depends heavily on condition. A heavily worn example may be worth only a small premium over face value, while a sharply detailed, uncirculated coin with blazing red luster can command much higher prices among collectors. Condition, originality, and certification matter enormously in the coin market. If someone believes they have a 1944 silver-colored penny, careful testing is crucial. A genuine 1944 steel cent will be magnetic because it is made of steel, unlike copper cents. But even this is not enough proof, because altered coins exist. Some copper 1944 pennies have been plated with steel or zinc to appear rare. Only professional authentication by a respected grading service can confirm whether a coin is the real, multimillion-dollar rarity or simply a modified piece. The emotional pull of this coin lies in its story of transformation. Imagine finding what appears to be an ordinary penny, only to discover it is one of the rarest mint errors ever produced. That possibility gives the 1944 steel wheat penny an almost mythical aura. It symbolizes how history, chance, and preservation can collide to create immense value from something once considered insignificant. For collectors, the 1944 wheat penny, steel or copper, is also a reminder of how deeply American history is embedded in everyday objects. The portrait of Lincoln represents unity and resilience, while the wheat ears symbolize growth and prosperity. Even the most common example carries that heritage. The rare steel version simply adds a layer of wartime intrigue and minting mystery that magnifies its appeal. Despite the dramatic stories of million-dollar sales, it is wise not to assume every 1944 penny holds life-changing wealth. The coin market rewards knowledge, patience, and verification. Anyone who believes they possess a rare example should avoid cleaning it, protect it carefully, and seek professional evaluation. Cleaning or altering a coin can destroy much of its value instantly. In the end, the 1944 Liberty Wheat Penny from Philadelphia stands as one of the most fascinating chapters in American numismatics. While only the rare steel error pieces reach astonishing prices, their legend continues to inspire collectors around the world. It proves that even the smallest coin can carry immense historical weight, and in extremely rare cases, extraordinary financial power.